They announced Star Wars things, and I don't believe it's gonna happen anymore.
Right?
I'm crying.
It keeps getting worse!
Welcome to Hot Takes and Hot Wings, where we react to your hot takes, share some of our own hot takes, all while eating these incredibly spicy wings. My name is Sean Chandler. This is Sean Chandler Talks About, and I'm joined by
Andy King of King's Con.
So about a few weeks back, I bought the Hot Ones pack of hot sauces on a whim. I was just on Amazon. I was like, oh, I should totally buy the hot sauces. And then I got them and I went, what if I made a video where I eat hot wings while ranking something? Mm-hmm. And then I turned that into, what if I talked about hot takes, and hot wings. And what fandom is the angriest, most polarized, that can't agree about anything? Star Wars fans. So to that point, I asked people for their hot takes, and a person comments, nobody hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans, which is 100% true. So I asked for their hot takes, and people shared over 1,000 hot takes about Star Wars. Andy and I sat down, we read through all of them, and narrowed it down to about the 20th best one. So we've got 10 levels here. Increasingly hot wings. So that's our plan. That's what we're gonna do. And let's go ahead and get started with level 1. We have classic hot sauce. This is only 1,600 Scovilles. So what is your drink of choice that you have lined up at first?
Yeah, so
is that called what water? Oh,
this is water.
Fancy. This is called
drinking?
Diet Pepsi. I went with Diet Pepsi. All right, let me hopefully grab the correct wing here.
All right.
Hot take number 1. I genuinely enjoy Rise of Skywalker very much. It was a satisfying conclusion to Rey's story with an epic final battle that gives me chills every time. How do you respond to that? You agree?
That's just like atrociously bad. I don't know why you... I'm not trying to insult someone's opinion on anything. I just don't understand how you can coherently watch the entire sequel trilogy and come to that conclusion. They kind of butchered every character throughout the series. I don't know. I appreciate that it's a hot take, but...
It's a true hot take,
yes,
because it's like a set of movies that feel like every movie hates the last movie.
Yes.
They just undoes everything that was done in the previous movie. And so all of a sudden Palpatine is back and he's starting a podcast, and we've got like all the stuff with Finn goes nowhere. They undo Rey as nobody. They just undo everything. And so it doesn't feel set up, so it's not satisfying. It just felt like they were like overreacting to negative feedback. But there's a second side to this one. Palpatine returning was a good idea because of Ian McDiarmid's incredible acting abilities and the way it tied up the entire saga. Wow. I always felt like the sequels were too disconnected from the rest of the saga.
Wow.
You agree?
I mean, no. Just right off the bat, no. Right off the bat, no. They went from Rey is nobody to Rey's a Palpatine. And then in the movie, they literally
said... You have to stop and think about what that means for Palpatine's life, his love life.
In the third movie, they literally stop and say, somehow Palpatine came back.
Somehow he came back. I will 50% agree with this.
Really?
Yeah, well, like, I mean, the execution of it, the idea that it comes back and it's like, Palpatine's back. There's a message out there. He's got a podcast. Come on now, that's stupid. But Palpatine was always the main villain of the first 6 movies. They introduced cloning. They've introduced the sort of idea of force powers tying into it. So the idea, if they'd done it right, if it had been set up properly in the previous 2 films, I would have been okay with it. I don't dislike the idea in general of him coming back. The specific execution, I think, was really stupid. Moving right along to level 2, we have Bahi Ranch, 6,200 Scovilles. Okay. So 4 times as many Scovilles for this bad Mamba Jamba. Is that a phrase the kids use these days? Bad Mamba Jamba? Yes. Sure. I'm still hip. All right.
Ranchy.
Star Wars Rebels is the best piece of Star Wars content. Seconded by Grace Randolph.
Okay.
Who's got like 1 million subscribers on YouTube. She has a lot of hot takes. Finish Star Wars Rebels. It is the best Star Wars content by far the best Jedi action for sure. Rebels. What?
Okay,
I've seen it. No hate. There's there's some episodes I like. There's some stuff that's cool.
Okay.
Rebels is the best.
Sean, you've known me for a while.
Yeah.
You've known me for literally half of my life.
Yeah.
You know I love anime. You know I love animation.
Yeah.
You know I love cartoons. The franchise has been around for 40 years. If you're gonna say a cartoon is the best piece of Star Wars, Star Wars media.
Droids from the 80s.
No.
Ewoks from the No, you're gonna say something else?
No, I was gonna say no. None of that.
My mistake. What were
I
you gonna
disagree.
say?
I was gonna say it's a cartoon, it's an animated series, no shade, but they marketed it so poorly, people thought it was like a kid's show for the most part.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, they've got a guy that has a blaster that's a lightsaber. It feels like a thing designed to be a toy, not to be an actual legitimate plot point. So that one just feels wacky to me. Level 3, the Kaho. I don't know how to read. Kadeho, 15,000 Scovilles.
Okay, so it's double. Let's go.
These ones are wimpy so far. These are nothing.
That's tasty. That's tasty.
Star Wars is the most overrated movie franchise of all time. Star Wars is overrated. All the characters are basic. Every single Star Wars film is boring and overrated franchise. Do you agree?
Wow, that's I go back and forth. That was a roller coaster of just hate right there. I kind of think Star Wars is a little overrated.
Wait, what?
What? Well, I think okay, hear me out. I think that
Where do you go with this? There's a lot of Star Wars fans right over here.
Okay, I think it's a little overrated, but also a little overhated. I think
that's Star Wars.
But I think the people who support Star Wars are so vehemently diehard that it kind of makes it easy to want to hate it. But they also sell it as just the paragon of science fiction that kind of makes it
space fantasy, not science fiction. Because they're space wizards.
Yes.
So, I mean, there's diehard Star Wars fans that do a terrible job of acknowledging its faults. And then there's people that don't acknowledge its modern day mythology.
Right.
Or at least it was. It was legitimately, let's take classic mythology, package it with laser swords and spaceships for modern era, and it revolutionized movies as we think about them. So there's ways in which you can't say it's overrated in that regard. But if you can't acknowledge that I wanted to go get some power converters from A New Hope is wacky acting. Come on now, it's pretty ridiculous. But I mean, these are just haters. These are if there's a difference between I don't like Star Wars and Star Wars sucks. You have to be able to differentiate. I'm not a huge Lord of the Rings person or Harry Potter person.
Right.
No hate. Whenever I say that, people in the room right now are wigging out, making faces. Every time they make the faces, but it's not hate. It's just it doesn't jive with me the way that Star Wars does or some other things. And so there's people that say some of this stuff that you're come on now, that's a little over the top.
Yeah, and I think the problem is when you start to associate a piece of work by its fan base. So when you talk about Star Wars fans hating Star Wars more than anyone else, it makes it really easy to associate that with Star Wars. As having a very hostile, I wouldn't say hostile fan base.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get roasted for that, but
It's true.
Yeah.
Star Wars fans are incredibly hostile. I have a comment section. They're mean. They're very mean.
Oh, wow. So what's your rating? Star Wars, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings?
I don't know. I just have very similar feelings about Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings of totally respect them, enjoy them, but it's also difficult when I guess there's
nuance, man.
As soon as you throw the Hobbit movies in there,
oh yeah,
then it's easy. It's Harry Potter because Harry Potter never went off the rails.
Never. Wait. What about
no, then we have the Fantastic Beasts. Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah.
There we go. That's right. I don't know, man. It's tricky. All right, level 4, Los Calientes Verde. That was the worst imaginable accent. Verdes with 36,000 Scovilles right here. Scovilles. There we go.
See, those are still tasty, not internally damaging.
Yeah, these still taste good. You get up to these higher levels and I taste like death. I taste because I eat myself a lot. Auto-cannibalism. It's, I'm teaching my kids. The special editions of the original trilogy are better than the theatrical versions. People like to nitpick and always mention select few things as ruining the movies, such as Jedi Rocks, but in my opinion, the good changes outweigh any unnecessary ones. All right, so this is an interesting one because almost everyone in here watching, you grew up on the special editions. You might not have ever even seen the theatrical cuts.
Right.
So what happened is 1997, they released the Star Wars special editions for the 20th anniversary of Star Wars, and they added in a bunch of CGI, they added in deleted scenes and stuff, and they just changed the movies. So I have the last VHS release of the original theatrical cuts.
Oh, snap.
I just don't own a VCR because it's
here
year 2023. But, so the hot take, and so people hate this, that you can't find the originals because they're better. The special editions there's things about them that are improvements.
Well, and the thing is, like, I can't weigh in. I have not seen the originals. I only have the special editions.
And you're in your 30s,
Right.
You've been watching your whole life, you've never even seen them. And so it's like one of these online debates are like, they suck! You guys ever seen the theatrical cuts? Do you even know much about what I'm talking about? Some vague awareness? Right. Brandon, you've seen them? But so most people have never even, like young people have never even seen them to have a comparison. And like Empire Strikes Back, they changed almost nothing. They added a stupid song into, they changed the song that's in Return of the, actually they changed two songs. The one at Jabba's Palace, that's a new song with the CGI guy dancing, it's ridiculous. That was added. It was a totally different song. And then they changed the song at the end of the movie when they're celebrating. It used to be like the Ewoks doing cartwheels singing this song. And they just changed it out to the song that's in there now. And then they added Coruscant, Naboo. None of that was in there before. Just added it all in. So it's made all these interesting changes.
Well, all right.
Anyway, I'm glad you have strong opinions on that one because level 5, this one is going to be you sharing your hot take with me and see how I react to it, as well as some of these people in the room.
Okay.
Level 5, hopefully it's going to start getting juicier because these, once again, we're not struggling yet. Ghost pepper hot sauce.
All right.
39,000 Scovilles, and we'll take our bites and then you're up. What is your Star Wars hot take?
Oh boy.
Nothing. Easy.
It's tangy, honestly.
A little bit.
All right. So yes, for my hot take. Here it is. I think Dave Filoni is overrated.
I was gonna throw this at him and then. It occurred to me that if I throw it at him, it can hit him in the eye. And that would try to make the night go really bad.
And cause actual pain. Well.
All right, what were you saying again?
So I think Dave Filoni is overrated. Okay. I think so.
It's going down my throat.
Oh, okay, you drank your lemonade first, let's go.
Oh, yeah, that's, I'm gonna get myself in trouble.
Okay, so.
I'm good.
I think so much of the modern Star Wars franchise is kind of hinging upon his characters and like Clone Wars, Rebels, and upcoming projects like Ahsoka, that it starts to kind of, feels like it's devaluing a little bit of what the sequel trilogy tried to do. It feels like they're really trying to distance themselves from the sequel trilogy and like rely.
Which you love.
Oh yeah, exactly. I love the character development of Poe, Rey, and Finn. It just really spoke to me. So, I don't know. And then it seems like every season of The Mandalorian got more and more cameos from Dave Filoni's shows, which is nice to a point.
But it's niche.
Yeah, exactly. It's niche, and it also kind of makes The Mandalorian stand out less, so that season 2 and 3 don't have the same punch that season 1 did.
Yeah, I like Dave Filoni. For people that love the Clone Wars, just like he's right up there with George Lucas. And then for those of us that aren't like crazy about the Clone Wars, it's like, okay, yeah, he gets Star Wars. I don't know that he's that good. Mm-hmm. I mean, and he hasn't proven himself doing some of these other things.
Right. And he's
like doing a movie is not the same thing as doing a TV show.
Don't get me wrong.
That's aimed at younger ages.
I really value, like, he's done a lot for the Star Wars franchise. He's done a lot, but at the same time, I just think that he gets a lot of love without having contributed to, like, the overarching, like, kind of cinematic side of things.
Exactly. All right, level 6. Pretty big jump here. Mushroom Mayhem. This is the one that tastes like barbecue a little bit. 68,000 Scovilles.
I'm not even a mushroom guy. Let's go.
In my opinion, I think they should redo the entire Star Wars universe. Do you concur? I mean, I read that, and to perhaps play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
I can see the perspective of, because we're approaching 50 years, you start running into canon issues, and you have all the great stories, but a lot of pieces that don't fit.
Yep.
And so you start going like, if we reboot it at the 50th anniversary and we can go back to taking this great story and executing it right. That's, people say, there's a lot of great ideas in the prequels, execution, George Lucas dialogue, not so hot. And then the original's really good, but they're 40, nearly 50 years old. There's some dated stuff. So what if we fixed all of that by telling the story straight through? I think there's maybe merit to that idea.
Okay.
Am I recommending it? No. Do you think this is a great idea?
I mean, the thing is, like, it's funny because Dave Filoni brought up, like, the world between worlds, right? So we've got an opportunity for some kind of, like, time travel-y stuff, I guess. But to me, when you have a story that takes place in a galaxy far, far away, you've got a whole set of galaxies to play with. You've got a whole level of, like, expanded story and canons that you can mess around with. So I don't think we need to reset the canon versus moving past the current canon.
And we're only looking at 100 years.
Yes.
Like, it's this narrow window where all our stories take place, and you go, you don't need to reboot it.
Right.
Let's just tell other stories in this space. Level 7. This is one we're going to disagree on.
We'll see.
Dreams of Calypso. 101,000 Scovilles.
Let's get it.
Chloe, you raised your hand. Did you want to take a bite?
Light work, no reaction.
Yeah, this is the last one before it gets awful. They're so good. The Mandalorian Season 2 was overrated and encapsulates a lot of what's wrong with Disney Star Wars these days, which is it relies too much on cameos. You think this is wrong. We talked about it earlier. You think that it's crazy to say that this is what encapsulates everything wrong with Disney Star Wars. Defend Season 2 of The Mandalorian.
One, I think The Mandalorian's dope. It's tight. It's sick. Those are my main defenses. Secondly, I think that The Mandalorian 2 did a good job at, like, tying The Mandalorian into other Star Wars canon properties, so that's good. The cameos were kind of few and far between because the big two are Bo-Katan and Luke.
Did you need me to pour you some Diet Pepsi in your water?
Not ask it, didn't ask.
All right,
I'm doing great.
For me, I read this and I would say I love Season 2 of The Mandalorian. I agree with this. I think that Mandalorian Season 2 is a perfect example of what's wrong with modern day Star Wars, modern day Lucasfilm. And what I mean by that,
Light work, Sean, light work, come on.
what I mean by that is that classic Star Wars, George Lucas Star Wars was inspired by the things he was passionate about and loved. So Flash Gordon, Kira Kurosawa movies, samurai movies, westerns, serials of the 1940s, and then his ideas about fascism, Vietnam War, and then he had similar ideas that factored in when you got into the prequels and what, like, people complain they got political, but it was like he had new ideas that interested him. He was reading about the fall of Rome and things like that.
Right.
Disney Star Wars is inspired by old Star Wars, which I like to think of it as creative inbreeding. It's just,
That's a wild term.
yeah. I came up with it about worship music of all things.
Creative inbreeding.
Yeah, Christian music, creative inbreeding. It's inspired by itself. It's just all kind of right there in the family, rather than taking external. It's a nice way to talk about Christian music.
I did not need you to expand
Agree
on
with
that
that?
definition. Wow.
But like you think about it, so you get to Mandalorian season 2, which I do love, but the thing that makes it interesting and great isn't that they brought new influences into Star Wars, it's that they went, hey look, it's Ahsoka! Hey look, it's Sabine Wren! Or she's not in it. Look, it's a Bo-Katan.
Yeah.
Hey look, Luke Skywalker's back! It's not new ideas. It's not like this is brilliant storytelling. It's like, oh cool, Star Wars is connected and we're getting this on a weekly show.
Right.
Which is cool and great, but they're not moving the mythology forward. Level 8, the bomb evolution, 135,000 Scovilles, but we've tested these before. This is excruciating. This is where things start getting really, really bad. So to make it extra spicy,
Okay.
First off, I'm gonna be prepared for when this goes down. All right, here's the rules. Speed round.
Okay.
We eat it, then I have to read you a hot take, and I can't take a drink until I read it to you, and until you can't take a drink until you respond to the hot take.
Okay.
And then I'll hand this to you, and you read the next one to me, and we'll do few of these back and forth.
Okay.
Are you ready? I'm not.
Number 8.
I'm not. Let's do a little ding.
All right. You're just gonna put the whole iPad on those bones. Mama ain't raised no quitter, son.
The dialogue in Attack of the Clones isn't that bad, and it is well made. It is well written.
You don't get to drink. Oh, I have to. You don't get to drink.
All right,
Wait. Let me finish. Okay.
Please talk.
Okay. Attack of the Clones. I think. Oh my gosh.
The
okay.
dialogue.
Dialogue. Thank you. Okay. I think the dialogue could have used some. work. I would need to.
What about the sand? Do you like the sand
man.
dialogue?
I don't like sand. It's gritty and it gets everywhere. Okay. The dialogue was a little choppy.
Yeah.
I think it could have used some work. I think it definitely. Okay. I'm good. Okay. Yeah. That's my thought. Okay.
All right. Then the next one.
Okay.
You read it to me.
Okay. The Laura Dern story in The Last Jedi is nothing short of masterful. Okay. You have to give a coherent answer, Sean.
Okay. Laura Dern, Hutto,
Yes.
Hutto or something like that.
Yeah.
She's the lady that kept putting
Yeah.
oh, goodness. Poe Dameron in his place, doesn't communicate with him. I mean, I think you have a series that has always celebrated rogues, people that go against the grain, and all of a sudden we're punishing Poe for being that.
Yep.
And we have a lady that isn't communicating, doesn't give us a plan,
Yeah, right.
ignores him even as
sure.
he's doing things. And so he goes against them while we're doing things that are normally celebrated. And so I just think that it was like such a poor way to do that story. Like, you can understand what they're trying to do.
True.
They didn't do anything to set her up to make us trust her. We need to trust her when we trust him.
Yep.
That's what the franchise has trained us to do.
That's like a whole paragraph
And
of
they ignore
thoughts.
that. I love every Star Wars movie, just some more than others.
That's a hot take.
Isn't it though for Star Wars fans?
I guess, yeah. I mean, yeah, for Star Wars fans who are diehard, having kind of having a rational approach like that is actually refreshing.
How many Star Wars fans do you know that love all of Star Wars?
That's actually a good point.
You love all of Star Wars? Love all of Star Wars? No. It's a hot take for Star Wars fans to love all of Star Wars. That's how wacky Star Wars is. Oh, yeah, we can take a drink.
Oh yeah, we can take a drink.
I don't like milk.
Andor is really bad. And follow-up is Andor is boring and unnecessary show that no one asked for and isn't Star Wars. There is an entire episode where they just walk through a field.
And it's compelling. All right, so Andor, it doesn't follow the traditional Star Wars formula. I get it. It doesn't feel like Star Wars. It's not about space wizards with laser swords. Fair enough. It's different. I get it. To say it's bad because it's different is naive and foolish.
Yes.
And just on a cinematic level, on a writing level, it's really well done. It's different. It's not going to be for everyone, and I can respect that. But the idea that it's bad.
Well, and part of it is like, if you're expecting everything to be space wizards and, no, I gotta make you hurt too, Sean. If you're expecting everything to be space wizards and lightsabers, then you're kind of detracting from all the people who are moving behind the scenes to make a lot of this stuff in the Star Wars universe happen. Either way, and that's a bad take. Let's drink some milk.
Yeah, let's.
I'm not even crying. What's wrong with you?
Did you want to try this at all?
Yeah, no, I've been hitting this.
That's nice. That's nice. All right, we'll just do one final one. This person had to be trolling. Jar Jar is a top tier Star Wars character. Come on now. Come on now.
Top tier, like S tier, like Palpatine, Darth Vader, Jar Jar Binks. Okay.
All right.
Darth Binks. That's right.
This is a good one. Level 9. Taco vibes only.
I don't want to do
So
this.
the last one was 135,000.
Yep.
Taco vibes only, 638,000 Scovilles. This is the slow burn one where you take a bite and you go, that's not so bad, and then you go, whoo. Dink. Oh, goodness.
I'm gonna eat this wing and look you in the eyes like a man.
Kathleen Kennedy has done a decent job with Star Wars. So Kathleen Kennedy did a great job.
Yeah.
You agree?
No, I don't agree. She's had her hand in the pot of everything, and it's kind of like why I feel like that's why we've seen. I don't think she's doing a great job. Okay. Okay. I think that Kathleen Kennedy has started to like put her hand in the pot too much, and I don't know how much of that has like changed current and future Star Wars projects, but I think The Mandalorian season 3 and 2 even probably took like a bit of a dive in quality because of her involvement.
So, the ultimate job of being the CEO is to build the brand, build excitement, recruit talent, and to keep them.
Yes.
What has she done a terrible job of? Keeping
Everything
talent.
you just said, yeah.
So if you look at the movies that have come out, Force Awakens, big gigantic problems behind the scenes. Rogue One, they had to bring someone in to replace the director. Solo, they literally shot 80% of the movie, fired the director. New people in.
So breathe slowly, breathe slowly.
Last Jedi was good, no issues.
Really?
But then Rise of Skywalker, they had a totally different movie pitch, everything, replaced it. Game of Thrones guys were supposed to do a movie. Never gonna happen. Ryan Johnson's supposed to do a trilogy. Never gonna happen. Taika Waititi, Patty Jenkins, supposedly were hired to do something. Kevin Feige, they keep announcing things. None of it happens. They announce Star Wars things, and I don't believe it's gonna happen anymore.
Right.
I'm crying. Is it about Star Wars? Is it about the hot sauce? I don't know.
Okay, we can drink now?
I think so. Do you like Kathleen Kennedy?
No.
At this moment, I'm good. I'm back. Okay. I'm back.
No, I don't.
The Chick-fil-A lemonade shake thing, it did it. For the moment.
You ever start to?
We have one more to go.
You ever start to like drool so much it's hard to like talk?
All the time.
I'm starting to.
But beyond that, you're supposed to build excitement, bring people together. She's divided people. So even like what's a Star Wars hot take? I had to even say like, loving Last Jedi is not a hot take. Hating Last Jedi is not a hot take. Either one of those, totally normal. Tons of people.
But liking it, like just accepting it and liking it.
Being medium on it, that's actually a hot take. Because she's split people, and it's divided, it's segmented. She hasn't brought the fan base together, and that's not cool.
That's not
like these wings.
You also know you've done a bad job when people take the sequel trilogy, and they're like, you know what? In hindsight, the prequels weren't that bad.
Yeah.
Like everyone's changed their tune on that, and that. I'm done with that thought. What are you?
I don't want to do this. That'll bring us to level 10.
Bet.
The Last Dab Apollo. It hasn't been announced at Scoville's, but they think it's going to be over 2 million. 2 million. But it's called The Last Dab, so it's part of the tradition. Oh, I'm suffering. You've got to give it a little extra one last dab before we get going.
Gotta get one last dab. Gotta dab it. You're up, Sean. The pony's been anteed up.
Okay.
Pony up, Sean. Sauce it up, Sean.
Okay. This one is my hot take. Oh, goodness.
Drink me, Sean. Drink.
You going first?
Yeah.
Okay, my hot take, I don't know if it's a hot take. I don't even know how to say this, but like, I'm just not excited for the future of Star Wars. As a lifelong Star Wars fan, as someone that, even at the place where we're filming this, when they announced Disney bought Star Wars, I started running through the hallways. Bobby, they're gonna do more Star Wars. Disney bought Star Wars. I'm so excited, I'm crying, not over the hot sauce. It was so exciting. And now they announced new movies, and I just don't even believe it. I don't think they're gonna happen. I hear it and I go, maybe. We'll see what happens.
Right.
And I just, like, my excitement level is faded. And that's crazy.
Yeah. It feels like DC, like where DC would always announce, DC would always announce like several projects and then like cancel like half of them. And it feels like that's what happened to like Star Wars. You know? Okay, hey Liam, can you get me that little metal cylinder back there? Perfect. Thank you, okay.
Jennifer, if you can give me the other.
Here, trust me, emergency ice cream. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, not excited for Star Wars. It keeps getting worse. How you doing over there, Sean?
I'm good. It's passing.
Yeah, me too. Oh. You wanna hit this? I think that I'm just trying to talk without throwing up.
Maybe part of the
Okay. So many things are announced or coming out and even being canceled that it's kind of hard to have genuine excitement for anything. Go. What are your thoughts? Go.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't trust Star Wars anymore.
Yeah.
I don't trust Kathleen Kennedy, and so it's tough to be excited for people you don't trust. So that was hot takes and hot wings, and I am in so much pain. That was like the most excruciating hour or like last 30 minutes of my life. Where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me at King's Comics on YouTube or Andrew King 3RD on TikTok, Instagram, and other social media platforms.
And if you like this type of content, I would love to do more of these and torture myself more, but share the video, like, comment, all of that fun stuff. Let me know what other things you want me to talk about and what hot sauces should I try again in the future, and keep talking movies and TV too much. Bye-bye.
Yeah.